keep subscribing. Tell a friend to come and subscribe so that we can enjoy more and more of your favorite celebrities. And the person I have for today, she's an amazing journalist. She's very beautiful. Like a lot of people, I know criticisms are there, but when I look at her, she's a very, very, very hardworking person. This person, I think, just in case you don't know her, you're not close to her. Us who are close to her, we know she's a very hardworking person. She's very focused. She knows what she wants. Yes, there are a few things here and there, of course, the things that we're about to know. But don't worry. Of course, we're not going to focus on those ones. But I welcome you once again on the Stardom Lifestyle Show. My name is Rapey, as usual. Very, very excited. So, how are you, Lynda?
I'm doing great. I'm enjoying the compliments. You can keep them coming. Continue calling me beautiful.
You are. It's not just, actually, it's not just about the compliments, but you are really a very beautiful girl.
Thank you. I'm glad to be. I'm actually humbled that I made it to your list of celebrities, as you guys seem to call them. I'm still not yet used to the title celebrity, though. I'm trying to adjust to that.
Just like me.
One step at a time. Maybe at some point I'll hear someone call me a celebrity. I'll be like, okay, but then other times I'm like,
At the moment, how you feel like actually when you're home, mostly
Yes.
when you're home, your entire family members are recognizing you as a celebrity. Like you get to family meetings and then everyone is like, oh, she's there. How does it feel when you used to be a normal person before?
I feel like it hits different now. It wasn't a bigger deal because I had been on TV before, but it wasn't that exaggerated, if I should call it that. When I came to NTV, everything has literally changed. Like,
I know.
Just like that. And I had to wake up. I'm like, oh my God, stuff just got real.
I know.
And I'm hustling to adjust to the whole idea because I like it when people treat me as me because that makes it easier for me to do what I do better.
Okay.
If you understand that I'm doing it as me, not as the celeb. Hey, that celeb warfare. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I am the same one. I've been walking through the same exact doors with you people. And then all of a sudden, I'm no longer just Lynda. I am celeb warfare. That kind of thing. And you go anywhere and someone will whisper your name. And for 2 seconds, I usually first try to figure out if I know the person. And then half the time, you don't really know the person. But then you're like, Posy, I am on TV.
That's so me.
It's like, I'm trying to adjust to it. It's just I'm not used to it because naturally, for those who know me, my personality is not exactly a celebrity person's personality. I act like a penguin, if I should call it that. So I'm trying to, I don't know.
To adjust.
To adjust. There's so many things that I still have to work on so that I can be able to actually be entirely the brand that I already am.
Okay.
But the problem I have is trying to be that brand without losing who I am as a person. So
Exactly.
I don't know. I'll just let
That
God
is
take
actually very, very important because we have seen so many people who come to limelight. Obviously, when they already wanted it before, like they had just not gotten there. But when they become one, they lose themselves. They lose the person that they were before. So it is very key. So for the people out there, just in case you're working towards the fame thing of, oh my God, spotlight, I want to be here, I'm a celebrity. You really need to keep that you in you. You don't have to lose it. It's not easy, however.
I feel like it's really, really not easy.
I know.
Because all this, yes, it looks good to the people on the other end of the camera. But for the person who's actually stepping into it, you have to step into it knowing that this is also a journey you're going to have to take.
Exactly.
When you go into it, things start changing.
Yeah.
For starters, you have to first cover your skin with I don't know what, but know very well, just as people like you,
Rocks.
people will also not like you.
Thank you.
Like whether you like it or not. So you have to go in knowing that there are two sides to it. Do not just assume being a star is just about looking pretty, taking pictures or all this. There's work you have to put into it. Remy, you know the work we have to put into it. Just getting here, there's a whole production that goes into it, and it's quite stressful.
Yeah.
But people just assume that it's easy.
Yeah.
Like we just get up. I get out of bed and then I walk.
Then
They give me a microphone.
TV.
They tell me what to say. And it's not like that. We have to do so many different things to make sure we become who we are. We build ourselves to where we are right now.
Yeah.
But some people wake up one day and they just want to become what you already are. I knew for starters I already knew Rapey. And I used to wonder how this girl is a motor mouth. I I used to think that even in person, like if I'd find you anywhere, you'd literally be talking the whole time.
Okay.
And then I've met you, I've gotten to be around you, and I can realize Remy is actually quiet, but on TV, she looks like she talks way too much.
Yeah.
And someone else will expect you to be who you are on TV in real life, and yet you're too. Let's say the TV person is you on TV. That is, let me say,
because
Lynda
that's my
Ddane.
job.
And then this other one is Uwamahoro. Basically, the description of me is quite calm. I like disappearing and doing things on the low. Someone will expect me, they'll look at me and first tell me a joke. And I'm like, yo, it doesn't happen like that. Like, what I do, my working time is my working time. My me time is my me time. And that's one thing that most of the people who want to get here have to know, that you're going to have to learn how to separate who you are so that you can be able to maintain yourself without losing yourself to your job.
Okay, we're still having Lynda Ddane. We started in a very, very, very high hype just because she's a jolly person. That's one thing I know about her. She's funny, she's jolly, she's loving, she's a free soul. She's just there. Like, you might think Lynda Tanyiga, but all you have to know is that she's a very amazing person, and I'm very excited to have her here because we're gonna know a lot more about her. But Lynda, I have a Luganda audience. Can you say hello to them?
Yes, Mujebareko.
Do you know Luganda, by the way?
I know it. I can hear it now much better than I used to before.
Okay.
I have been trying to incorporate it in my daily speech, but as you know,
because most of the time you're with Wuju, and Wuju knows Luganda, so
yeah, she knows Luganda, so we try to, but then we get to know the silly little words of sinikira binyo, and then like those are the things that we keep saying, but I'm still trying to build on it so that I can become really good at it. It's one of the languages I feel like I want to be able to speak fluently without cracking.
Okay.
But it's usually one step at a time. The only problem is half the time I'm speaking English and the people around you speak English, so you don't get as much chance to learn a language as quickly as you possibly could. But I'm trying. So
then but then your other language, we started so fast, we don't know her real name. All we know is Lynda Ddane. So what's your real name?
Lynda Ddane Uwamahoro.
Lynda Ddane Uwamahoro.
Uwamahoro. It means of peace.
Oh,
yes.
Hold a minute. What tribe are you?
I am a Munyaranda Mufumbira.
Okay, you say Uwamahoro means what?
Of peace.
Of peace.
Yes.
Hey, I've had a friend before.
Yes.
Yes, that is what it means in Luganda, muntu wa mirembe. I've had a friend before, she used to be called Uwamahoro, but I remember she used to be a very beautiful girl, so I think that name flows there, Balunji, muli bakazi balunji, wanovira kushongo Luganda liza. But we shall be mixing in a little bit of Luganda, but because she doesn't know really how to be fluent or how to speak Luganda, you will pardon us a little. We shall use more of English than the local language, but we still respect and we love our local language. I love the local language very, very much. So, Lynda Ddane, briefly tell us about yourself, how you grew up, where you grew up from, how many kids are you, things like that.
In brief, we have 4 children. I have an older brother, 2 younger sisters, born to 2 advocates. Yeah, my parents are both into the law system. I grew up, how can I describe myself? I grew up quite antisocial before. Then I became, I was shy, but I like being around people.
That was you.
Yeah, and then I had a whole high school phase. High school is a whole different story. Okay. You can never think I would be as confident in who I am the way I am confident in who I am right now.
Really?
In high school, it was quite the opposite, by the way. I used to be scared of being myself.
Okay.
I used to be very insecure about my kazigo. It wasn't something I was really.
People used to make fun out of it.
Make fun, starting from my own brother. My brother used to tell me that I was adopted because there's no one in our extended family that has it. So I was the only one, and I was the different one among everyone else. And usually when you're a child, anything that enters your ear kind of sticks.
Exactly.
So I used to like smile without smiling in pictures. I think most people used to ask why I used to do this a lot. I used to do that a lot because that was my version of smiling. So I started the bubble face. It's what, and all my pictures, if you'd see all my pictures of before, had me doing that. Somehow, somewhere, it may have started as me covering up an insecurity, then it became a habit. So even up to now, sometimes I forget and I'm like, in pictures, but it came off because I used to be very insecure about my gap. I used to plait hair that would cover my forehead. Basically, because people would make fun of my forehead. And then I grew up, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, mfachi. Like, the people you're trying to please, other people are proud of it, others are not. Then you realize, you know what? At the end of the day, even if you make fun of my tooth gap, it's not going away.
Yeah.
Unless if I try to make it go away, which is unnecessary because it's who I am. Then it slowly grew into my identity. The girl with the kazigo, the girl with the kazigo. And I've started to embrace it. I mean, the hardest bit was going into or joining the TV industry with insecurities is not good.
Okay, coming to there just before we get there, but we're about to come there. Let's know, Lynda, then, because you said in school you were different from who you are. Why?
In school, just like every other human being, you want to be perfect. You're aiming at perfection somehow. You want people to like you.
Okay.
You want to be this, but at the same time, I used to be afraid of putting myself out there.
Okay.
I did always want to have a voice that could be heard, though, but I didn't know how I could do it.
Okay.
So I would try to focus on particular things and then try to find a way to get people to hear what I have to say. Because I knew what I had to say it held water, but how was I going to put it out there?
I know.
So I would just like shell myself in for the longest time. That particular character had made me fail to do things that I could do just because I was afraid of whether or not people would like what I do. And then it took me a while to actually grow out of it, by the way, because I think
Even at home?
even at home I'm very quiet. I'm just playful when people are around. For some reason, my bubble side comes out according to the people who are around me.
Okay.
Like, I'm playful when people are with me, but if you leave me alone, I'll just
Keep quiet.
I'll just be there.
Because
So
they
people
don't see
get
that
shocked.
character in you.
Yeah, people just get shocked. They're like, oh, she's quiet. I'm like, no one was talking to me, so who was I supposed to be talking to? Like, it's that awkward. Most people think I'm supposed to be just... And the one thing I know about myself is I kind of like keeping people involved when they're around me.
Okay.
So even you have noticed when I walk into
Yeah.
office, I'll tap literally everyone from the door up to inside.
Yeah.
But everyone has to say hi to me. They have to talk to me.
They have to notice
They have
that
to
you're
tell
there,
me.
just like me.
So people will be like, yo, Lynda is in the building. I
Exactly.
saw her around. We just don't know where she is now, but she's around. And that was something I never used to be able to do, however much I wanted to do it in high school. And then I grew out of my shell. I just broke free. I'm like, you know what? This is who I am. Those who accept me will accept me. Those who don't. So I just let my character come out, and in the most awkward way, it actually paid off. I like goofing off. I like doing silly things, and that is what landed me my job, doing stupid things, which is what I actually enjoy doing. Just by chance, I think God works in His own ways.
I know. We're having Lynda Ddane. I actually thought Lynda Ddane was a nickname.
No. No.
Banange. Mwemwa baba zalidawa. How did you get Lynda Ddane? Like, I mean, Lynda Ddane. Banange. Fingaga fesi wegache.
Repi.
We're just getting these names now. I hear Rapey, but I had my name, Precious. Yeah, I had my name from when I was a child. So I was Remy Precious Nachito.
But Precious is nice.
Yes, so because my auntie gave me Precious, she kept looking at me and she said, I think she's Precious, yeah. So they gave me Precious. So
You never used to talk that much when you were a kid. Because I would think that they would probably give you a name that is like, Omwana Yasamanyo. Like, I would think I would be you. Like,
but I think from when I was a child, I was a little stubborn. Yeah, a little stubborn. Not way too talkative, but again talkative, and I love laughing.
oh yeah, that's me.
Yes, I used to
I
love
laugh even when I'm
laughing.
not supposed to laugh.
I
People are
know.
like, can't you be serious for once? I'm
For
like,
once.
okay, I'll try not to. I
I
would watch
know.
interviews and I'm like, you're trying to answer a question and you just can't. I'm like, hold up, I need to laugh. Like, give me a second. And when they tell me, don't smile, I'm like, okay, fine, I won't smile. Then I smile. So it just happens. My smile is just me. So people
No,
have gotten used to it.
me when I'm supposed to be serious, I'll be serious. But when I'm supposed to laugh, I really laugh. Like, I really laugh out loud. I love laughing. Yeah, it's a good thing. But anyway, let's get to your journey
Yeah.
into into TV. Did you do mass communication?
Nope.
Okay, how do you get...
Nothing. You didn't.
Hold
I
a
did
minute.
nothing related to TV. Oh, minus IT. I did go ahead, but that was after me joining UBC.
Okay.
I was trying to think of something that would somehow make me feel more conversant with the field I was in, and I thought IT is the only thing that could actually get me into understanding what was going on, because I like trying out literally everything.
Okay.
I would go into the control room at UBC and I would see people do stuff and I wanted to know what they were doing.
Okay.
I'm like, I need to have an in, at least on something, whether it's technical or something. So I'm like, maybe I should also try IT just to see. Weirdest thing is the IT I had in my head is the one that you see in movies, yeah, where people are coding and stuff and breaking governments down.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. It wasn't like that at all. I'm like, what did I get myself into? But then I'm like, let me just go through it, because usually when I give myself a task, I just go ahead and do it. I did I've done so many different things, but nothing related to TV. My journey into TV was actually just one of those things where you're in the right place at the right time.
Okay.
If I should call it that. Because when I was at campus, I'd really learned to be who I am. And for some reason, people seemed to be drawn to how I behave. Like that kind of thing. My first TV job was on Urban TV, actually. It was a campus show, basically, where we would show things that campuses do, the games that we play in the evening, basically more profiling campus life.
Okay.
And that was easy because I was in campus, so I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I was doing my own things, and I would know exactly what to do. But then it used to take a lot of my time, and then I felt like there was something that just wasn't clicking-ish. Not that it was a bad thing. I was enjoying the idea, but then I don't know. I felt like maybe I was putting in too much heart, and I wasn't seeing it mature or something. Yeah. So I let that go. 2 weeks after letting it go, I get a call from Calvin, who was actually my friend, but just friends, because I knew him because of people like you're in the same circle, sort of. And then he calls and he's like, "Oh no, could you come by and I just hung around or something." He didn't say anything about a screen test.
Okay.
I asked him about that. I almost hit him because of that, by the way. Because I go there thinking I'm going to go meet my friend and just chill, because he has been around me. He knows I can talk. He knows I possess a good enough command in English, I believe. Well, I like to think so, right? I speak good English.
But yes, you do.
I speak good English. So yeah, I go through and I'm basically hanging around talking to him, and then he tells me to go around into the studio, and the studio didn't really seem like there was anything really going on. There was no one in the studio. So I literally go and start yapping and opening my mouth like I was talking. Then he's like, "Oh no, can you tell us some of the things that have been happening?" Because I do it as a joke. I was playing around. I had no idea I was actually being tested. When I get to find out that I had actually been tested, and he only told me that the producers already like you. I'm like, what are you talking about? I literally almost punched him. Then I asked him why he didn't tell me. He's like, usually when you tell someone they're going to go in for a test, they get nervous and stuff, and they hold back, which I understood afterwards. But that was after me giving in at least 2 slaps for setting me up. Like I'm like, you would have told me. But at the same time, I'm happy he didn't.
You
tell
maybe
me.
thought I would do this better if you had told me. I would prepare. But it's always at times it's not good to over prepare.
Exactly. So I was kind of happy he didn't tell me. I was just that feeling of I wish I had known. But anyway, it worked out for the good. Next thing I know, I was put onto the show with alongside 2 other girls, because they had actually come in for the screen test. People had, like I said, you have to come into this whole thing with a hard heart. They happened to be a lot different from me when it comes to, they were way lighter than I am, like light-skinned. And people had that thing of a TV presenter has to be light-skinned.
Light-skinned, exactly.
And yeah, like, yo, man, my level this is it.
Just about TV presenters, I think people just have it in mind that everyone who's supposed to be on screen is supposed to be light-skinned.
And that was apparently one of the reasons. That's why they said they could not let go of the others. I could speak, but I wasn't light. like light, like extra, that yellow that you can see. I'm like, oh no, but it's cool. So we're walking all hand in hand, the 3 of us all together. One by one, the girls just kept going off, and it was just me, because
that
so
means
it
God
ended
was
up
working.
I think it's somehow, and the funny thing is they'd become my friends. They actually are still my friends. I still talk to them. It was hard to think
like themselves.
Not exactly.
Oh, okay.
But that is not my story to tell. but still, the hard bit was to think that someone would not appreciate me because of what I look like. I can do what it is that you want me to do, but you just don't want it because I'm not packaged in that particular
Thank
way.
you.
And then by then I was still skinny. Actually, with UBC I was still skinny. I was still going through stuff. I was very depressed by then. Yeah, you want that story also?
You want to give it to us? Why were you depressed at a tender age? Because that time you were very young.
I was depressed. I was going
Why?
through a lot of things.
Love issues?
That also came. It was like a last nail of the thing, like, oh, papa. So it's like, okay. So I used to go through a lot of things. I had gone through a very traumatic time right before I left campus.
Okay.
I had gotten ill, and then that illness kind of made me go through things. And after that, it was hard for me to get over it. So I went through a whole phase of insomnia.
Okay, if I may ask, I don't know if I'm over intruding
That's
into
how
your
we know you
privacy.
know.
I know. So,
The wrong question then.
what were you suffering from?
That time there was a lot of things that just came at the same time. I had like this whole case of anemia and mathematic, and basically everything was going at the same time. So I kind of blacked out and led to things. Those ones I refuse to tell you. You'll have to come and I give you on the phone.
Really? Should we let it go? Really? Okay.
After that, going through all that, I had a phase of basically failing to sleep. I went through actual literal insomnia, which I did not know by then. But the insomnia kind of led to depression in its own way. Do you know what it's like to actually spend years without actually getting sleep? Like, you do not sleep. I never used to sleep. And it just kept piling on. And at first, I had gotten used to it. I had just adjusted. I'm like, I don't bother. Sleep doesn't affect me. Sleep is for the weak. I was giving myself consolations. I would go out, not because I wanted to go out, but just because I had nothing else to do with my night. Okay. I would just go, be anywhere.
Like during the day, because you might be
I would get, that's the thing. Like, during the day, even if I had to sleep for like a little bit, I would get phases of nightmares, and I would wake up, and then I would just keep trying to sneak in sleep as much as I could, but it wouldn't. Okay. So it just kept piling on. Like, at first it was okay, it just kept piling on, so I lost weight.
And then your parents, did they know about it?
They did. They knew about it, but there really wasn't much anyone could do about it aside from empathize. Because you're going through it and no one really exactly understands how to fix it. Until I had to figure out or look for a way to fix it, which I did not on my own, to be honest. That's when that whole love issue came in. The person who gave me the idea of seeking a spiritual guidance was my friend by then. I don't know, like, okay, anyway. We were friends, and this was the only person I knew I could talk to. I was scared of telling anyone my story because I would think they would see me different. And for some reason, I think we were away, because I like traveling and stuff. We were away with all our friends, like in a group. And then he pulls me to the side and he's like, yo, Lynda, just talk. Like, because he's the only person who had actually recognized that there was something not right. I would smile all the time. He's like, yes, I see you smiling all the time, but there's something not right. You do not look happy to me. I'm like, but I'm smiling. He's like, that doesn't make you happy. And it was hard for me to find someone in our age that can understand the difference between smiling and actual happiness.
I know.
And he did. He actually noticed it. So it made me comfortable enough to open up to him and tell him everything that I had been through. And he's like, I do not think any of us can actually fix your problem for you.
Okay.
You have to seek spiritual guidance, which I did. And, well, it took me a little bit. At first, when someone tells you have to go and see a pastor, it's not an easy thing to accept, because you're like, what are you trying to say to me? That kind of thing. So I kind of took it with a pinch of salt. But then at the end of the day, I go back to my room. I'm like, maybe it's actually right. That kind of thing. So I did. I went ahead to go meet. Okay, I went through particular phases when it came to my growth religiously. By then, I was just a basic Christian, the normal Christian. You know, you have to go to church. You do not steal. You follow the commandments as you can, but you're just a basic Christian. But we do not have. I got to realize as I grew that we do not have the actual understanding of Christianity, of our religion. I know even Muslims have a growth that they would have to go through a particular period in which you get to actually learn what your religion teaches you. So I'm like, okay, yes, I know I have the Bible. I know I should follow what the Bible says. But do I really understand what the Bible actually has for me? Or, like, I did not get that. Now I was going through that particular phase. I was still at UBC, trying to understand who I was, trying to incorporate my religious life, trying to fix me at the same time. All at the same time I was trying to get my career going. And, well, of course, at some point it became too much, so I took time off. That's when I went off TV.
Okay.
It was close to a year. Me rediscovering myself. I go to House of Revival Church. I was going to House of Revival Church. It was in Kisasi. I would go there for prayers on Sunday. I'm like, no, but this is not enough. Like I'm not getting,
I need to do
like
it more.
I'm not yet perfect. I was feeling a lot better, but something wasn't yet at 100%. Like I still just felt. That's when I got off TV. I'm like, you know what? If it is meant for me, I will get it.
Okay.
Let me first focus on me as a person. So I go to Kansanga Miracle Center.
Okay.
This person, the person who told me about, okay, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to even mention names. I can't mention his name, otherwise, Bajakunkwat. And I have a money. I'm just saying. So he introduces me to the pastor of Kansanga Miracle Center. That's Pastor Isaac Chiwewesi. And I got to meet him. He also introduced me to Pastor David, and he got to sit me down and go through the whole idea of we do not really understand the religious world or the spiritual world as much as we think we do.
Okay.
And it is very real, which is something, even if it were you and someone tells you that, you first look and you're like, keep talking. like, I mean, these are things that we see in movies and we also just still brush them off and everything. I had to go through whole devotionals and everything just to know that, yes, maybe my own, I do not know if I'm allowed to say this on a cool show like yours, but
It's okay, darling. It's okay.
But yes, you get to understand that apparently I may have made an unconscious, what they call it, deal or struck a deal with the spiritual world in a way that I did not know by then.
I know.
So we had to break that and go through
those
all
things
that.
are real.
They're actually real. I didn't know they were. I did not believe in it in that way, but then I had to understand that there are differences. It's even there in scripture that there are different ways of the spiritual world actually affecting who we are as people.
Okay.
You may not even cautiously notice it. Like it may be something you can actually live with without knowing that you actually have a tie to the spiritual world, which we all do somehow, somewhere, because we have our soul in us that we cannot explain.
Exactly.
You get it? So that's the only thing that I got to sit down and take a step back and seek basically spiritual intervention. Take that as much time as I thought I needed. I wasn't about making money. I wasn't about doing anything. I was just about me. I was like, you know what? I don't care if I'm to go broke, let me go broke. But this time is for me. That's why everyone was asking.
But why would you be thinking? Why would you be thinking about money that time? Because you're still staying home. Mommy and daddy were still alive. They're still alive. They're making money for you. You don't have a child.
I was actually a very ambitious person. I wanted to, like, you drive a car by the age of 19. I mean, clearly I'm ambitious. So like I like working. I like working for what I have. I don't like depending on people.
I know.
And naturally, I don't even ask people. Unless if it's what, I don't ask people for anything. Like it irritates people. Because even when I was in a relationship, that was one of the biggest problems. I do not like accepting help. And I'm supposed to, but I do not like accepting help. I'm like, you'll help me and then you'll come back and tell me about this after. Like, nah, let me figure myself out.
Nangi da.
So I'm like, Neda, let me do my own things. If I'm to walk, let me walk, but I'll figure myself out. Which was something also I had to learn to not be, to learn how to be, part of a team, not the one person who's handling this. So yeah, I had to go through that. Luckily, as I was doing that, I just kept becoming more peaceful somehow. Then the weight started coming. I started growing fat. And I was enjoying the idea of growing fat, but at first I hadn't noticed it because I was basically not really around people as much. People weren't seeing me anywhere.
That was before you had gotten a job here?
Before I joined NTV.
Okay.
That was between UBC and NTV. That's why everyone was wondering how come I was fat when I joined NTV. When I joined NTV, I also wasn't as big as such. Just that there was now this newfound happiness that came with being on NTV, Nation Media Group, and everything I literally just grew fat. And I wasn't feeling bad about it, but it seemed like other people had their own thoughts when it came to me gaining weight, which now became their new version of putting Lynda down. She's fat, the other ones are skinny. I'm like, do I have to be a particular weight to be on TV?
I know.
Like, it would be just so awkward that you look at people looking at you in a different way. They're like, man, but you need to lose weight because you're working on TV. I'm like, well, you're going to tell me there's no other...
So,
Well, bulky person on TV, and I wasn't even that fat, just because I wasn't the thin that they had gotten used to.
But you're shaped. No, there is a difference between someone being fat and then there is a difference.
Yes,
You get. You're shaped. She's shaped. She looks good. So it's okay with her weight.
The milkshakes again are in the right places.
And I stop the milkshake, my darling.
I like it, but it was quite interesting. What made me happy, or what made it easier for me, I think, to okay, it took me a little bit of a second to think about joining NTV. Not because I didn't want to. I always wanted to work at NTV.
Okay.
Just that I wasn't sure if I was ready for it, because I know what NTV is like, and I'm like, NTV, you are no, yeah, no. That is like you're wondering whether or not you're ready for it. I had just gotten myself in line when it came to my religious side and everything. Everything was just fine. I'm like, I hope this doesn't affect it. So now that's where the problem of staying who you are, despite everything, despite your surroundings, comes in. You're like, I need people to understand that this is me, and not try to change it, but accept me. And that was something that I think many people have found a problem adjusting to. Because up to now, people keep asking why I do not drink. I just don't drink. Like, that is my answer.
No
but they don't
problem,
get
but you
it.
just don't
Yeah,
drink.
I don't drink. I just don't drink. It's not that there's anything bad with it. I have no problem with people who do. Almost all my friends do. I just don't drink. But they think I should.
Okay, before you can go any further, what are some of the things that changed about you when you entered this religious world, like you being too much now into God, because you are saving yourself from something? Yes. What are some of the things that changed about you?
Words from other people would not affect me as much. I became way more confident in who I am in Christ, that even if you had to come and tell me, I'm like, cool. That's how God made me. Like, that kind of, there's a peace that I found with who I am, in that you can't just come and just throw a word at me and it would piss me off. I'll just be like, okay. So you've abused me. Now what? You get it? Eh? Like, it just, there's something different. I would, even if I was going through what, because problems will come. It's not that they just disappear when you decide to take on a spiritual side. Problem will still be there. You'll still be going through your life the way every other person goes through their life. You'll have car issues one day, let me say. You'll be dumped this day. You'll have no money that day. All those problems will still be there. They're still real.
But those are normal problems. Those are normal problems, because those ones are problems that you can always go through. But then there are some problems
that are even bigger. You can get stressed. I still get stressed to this day, but at least now I have the word to fall back on. I'll go back and try and check. There's always a scripture that can actually help you feel better in any situation. That's the thing that I would tell people, that it's not that I do not see bad things happen. It's not that bad things stop happening to me. It's not that people will not still abuse me. It's not that someone that you like will still not like you back. Like that kind of scenario in which you'd be at work and probably people are talking about you or something. You know it's happening, but you have the word to fall back on regardless of whether or not people like you, and it will help you push forward. I went through a whole phase when I just joined NTV and people didn't think I was good enough for the show I was doing. That's NTV The Beat. They would compare with my predecessor.
Yes. Well, how would you feel that time?
It kind of pinches, and then I would keep trying to explain to people, since luckily enough, that's why I'm saying I was lucky and fortunate enough that I joined NTV after having discovered that side of me that is confident in who I am. And I would let people know that I'm not replacing anyone. It's just my time to shine. There's a difference. She had her time. It's now mine. Do not compare me with her, because she's who she is. I am who I am. Regardless.
Have you guys ever talked, like, with your replacement?
Yes, we were actually talked. We'd even hang out after that, and people were shocked. They're like, why are you guys talking to each other? I'm like, so what did she do to me? Why should I be mad at her? Nothing. At least I would hope I didn't do anything that would offend her, because I just went in for a job.
These are two replacements that we're talking about, so we need to identify.
Yep.
Which one?
Yeah. Both of them. In all honesty, there's some people who just...
Because one just came out and said, oh, darling, they've been getting 50K notes, so...
Okay. But honestly, yeah, that was the hardest one to get people to stop thinking about. Tracy's the one that I would hang with. She's the one I have met and hang with. I've met Sheila quite a couple of times. I cannot exactly say that we are like you kona kind of thing, but I've met her, and I would hope she has no problem with me, because I'm like, I'm just doing me.
Did you like say hello?
Yeah, I did.
Talk?
I did. I said hi, because I did stop by when they were shooting. I told you I have this very bad habit of wanting to know how everything goes. So I just like, I keep finding time to like watch other people doing their shows. I watched you doing your show. Like, I'll just go sit down, just be there, to see how you guys do your thing, see who just basically comparisons. I've basically, I think, appeared on all shows on NT.
I know.
So yeah, just like, I'll literally be everywhere. I'll go to the Spark TV. I'll be like, I don't care if it's Spark. Let me just see how you guys do your thing. I'll try and find maybe one time in a couple of weeks, go by the morning show on Spark TV, the Kasuku's show, basically everywhere. Just at least get a feel so that I can feel like part of, well, a family. And I would hope everyone else does the same thing, but it turns out I'm the weird one here. But anyway, I did pass by as a shooting style project sometime, and I just sat there. It's not like I was doing anything. I just seated there, just watching, and she did come through. At first she passed by me. I'm like, yo, now I know why they say you should be light skinned, so that they can see you. I'm like, nah, come watch me, you say hi. I was like, hi. So I did. I had to say hi.
You're just like me.
I know, like, I don't just let you. I'm like, yo, you're going to greet me, yo.
You like
you
or
just
you
have to say we have to talk. At the time I got to meet Tracy, I think she came through. I had just been introduced to the show, and she came through, I think, to see people. And for 2 seconds, I felt kind of like bad, because everyone was like so happy when she walked in. I'm like, I don't think they like me this much. Then after 2 seconds after talking to her, I'm like, now I see why they like her. Like, it was kind of fun. So yeah, so we just started talking. I just started talking to her, actually, because I remember I had a guest that time, and I'm like, oh no, Tracy, come through, let's take a picture. And she actually came, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Then she said I was a cool person. I was telling her she's a cool person. I'm like, okay, so we're both cool people. So just we became friends, and then we hung like a couple of times after that. The Malembe block party, I remember I was there with her, and a couple of things. But most people wouldn't expect us to talk or be friends, because they would think that there would be like beef and they would create beef in the most awkward thing. Because even before I joined NTV, the thing that people were knowing me for was my clips. Then they would compare me again still with Martha K. And I'm like, but hold up, we're doing two different things. But they didn't get it, and then they would just make it look like it's a rivalry, and there was no real rivalry there. And I wouldn't want a rivalry.
But are you friends still with Martha K?
Yes, with Martha K. She actually, when I got to NTV, she was among the first people to send me a congratulations message. And it felt good because, well, it was her. I respect her. And so the most awkward thing is that in her message, she said she respects me. So it just gets confusing. I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me just continue with spread love, not hate. Like, I'm not about the whole I'm beefing with who and who. I will literally laugh until you get annoyed, because I do not know how to beef. Like, I do not know how to beef, and it's awkward. But the comparisons just kept coming on. So when people got adjusted to Tracy not being on the show, though there are some people who still call me Tracy, and then people would have to go back and be like, yo, that's Lynda, not Tracy. That's Lynda, not Tracy. I'm like, it's okay, that's cool. But I would feel bad that people were not accepting. Like, for a second, I'm like, yo, I'm not bad. Then you would see a comment once in a while, and they're like, hey, that girl actually has brains. I'm like, so all along you thought I was what? like what did they think I was moving around? Empty teeth, nothing. It took a second, and then comparisons just kept coming and coming and coming in, and some of them would be quite disrespectful. They would get, like, me say a picture of Sheila and put it against mine, and she's like all dressed up, and you know how I dress, and I'm like, will I manage? But I'm like,
talking about dress code there. Lynda, Ddane, you always forget your clothes at home. That is what people say. Lynda, Ddane, tayambala ngoye. Lynda, Ddane, ngoye zazileka waka. But we've seen this kind of woman or lady who is so much into God. Yes, and people think when you're godly, of course, the way you dress has to, because I've seen it with Gabi. Yes, people have to judge her a lot because of how she dresses, and then because she's godly. But I don't know, because for her, she said her side of the story. So what do you think?
I think, hold up, I have a right to be proud of who I am. As long as you're not seeing parts you're not supposed to see, but I feel like there's nowhere in scripture that says that I should not take care of myself. Okay. I should take care of myself. I should be able to feel comfortable. I should be able to feel comfortable in what I'm wearing. It depends on what it is, the scenario is. I'm not going to go to a party and feel comfortable in sweatpants and a hoodie, which I would feel comfortable in every other day, because that's basically something I had to learn how to stop wearing. I love sweatpants and hoodies. But it's just, I do not think dress code I do not think I have to look in a particular type of way just because I believe in God. The people who know me know that I will, yes, I try to balance.
So even when you're going to church, you can dress up anyhow?
You dress accordingly. You dress well, respectfully, because it's church. Even if it's any other day to day, you try to be as respectful as you can, but also not forgetting that you're a lady. At the end of the day, you have to be a lady. I had to learn how to be a lady. And I'm like, be a lady regardless. People think that if you go to church, you should not put on makeup. I'm like, okay, interesting, because I'm very sure Gabi must have gotten those before.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would they stop someone from putting on makeup? Who says that I have to not do makeup just because I believe in God? I believe in God. That's good enough for me. Those of you who believe it, up to you. That's something I had to learn. I'm like, if they believe me or not, that's up to you. I know who I believe in. I know what I follow. I know my principles. If I stick to them, they'll adjust. They'll adjust at some point. I can't do much about them.
So as Lynda, then as a girl, what are some of the things that you really love doing in your free time?
I love sleeping. I used not to. I feel like I have a debt to pay, so I now like do it twice fold. I do it like way too much.
Okay.
I am so much of a kind of like a reader, so even my Instagram, even my phone gallery is full of screenshots of things I have read from different sites or something. I kind of like reading things. Sometimes I feel like it's because I want my English to get better.
Okay.
But then I actually like reading things. I used to think that's what used to make me read those things, just to try to think of a word that I can use on other people and sound smart.
I know what Gabi is thinking about that.
It's just quite interesting.
I hate reading. God.
But if not that, I had gotten accustomed to TikTok. It had become literally my pastime thing. There's something very relaxing about it.
Yeah.
And I was good at it. I still am. So it just...
Why don't you do some acting? Because TikTok actually shows us the other side of you that you can do. You can do very well when it comes to acting.
I do want to act. I'm just trying to find the door to enter.
Okay.
You know that kind of thing of you.
But NTV has series. Have you tried to talk to them?
I'm still a little scared because you're going to go there and be like, hi. So I was thinking, how about you create a character for me? I'm trying to think of how to say it. I don't know how, but I was just hoping that someone out there would maybe like post on an NTV page, like, why don't you add Lynda? Then I go and I like it. I'll be like, so that someone else says it. Yeah. I don't know how to, but I'm trying to work my way into it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, God by my side, I'll be able to get into that as well, because I'm itching to.
Okay. So just in case you're not on TV, just in case you were not on TV, what other thing would you do?
I think I would do a lot when it comes to, fashion.
Okay.
I have a very, what people would say, peculiar sense of style, but I have an eye for some really good things. I may not really do put them on myself because I feel like it doesn't really like match me, but I have an eye for it, and I know I can be able to tell someone what to wear and they look good in it. So I think I would be doing fashion. I never knew that one day I would end up on radio. Can you imagine going nange njasama ku radio?
We're actually about to get there because now you're a radio presenter as well. How did you get there? How did you get this job?
I got to radio. It turns out that the producer, one of the senior producers of Radio City, had been paying attention to what I do when it comes to clips, and he thought I had a personality. So he went ahead to follow me on my show on The Beat, that is on NTV. And he's like, okay, this girl can actually talk. So they call me in. Again, I really honestly thought it was a joke because Sammy, you guys know Sammy, the one I work with, was already working on Radio City. He's like, yo, you should come through before all deal. I swear to God. I go in and the bosses of Radio City do not look like bosses at all. They look like they're just chilling there. Like they're just, you get that kind of thing. So I go in and I'm literally having a conversation with Sammy alongside my bosses who I didn't know my bosses, I just knew their names. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then after Sammy pulls me aside, he's like, by the way, Kevin is the senior producer. Ivan and Dingy are the basically the owners of the station. And I'm like, okay. And now I'm like, maybe you shouldn't have told me that, because now I'm a little scared of what it is I'm going to be saying. Like, you now start receiving what you say. But good thing is I'd already spoken enough for them to gauge who I was. Then they gave me a trial period. I went to do the Saturday Mayhem show with Rita Kanya.
Okay.
And turns out I was good at that. Then they're like, okay, let's first give you something else to try. By then, Juliana had gone on leave. They're like, maybe can you stand in for her? I'm like, okay, cool. Let me stand in. That was tricky because the show is from 6 a.m. I'm like, okay, don't worry, I'll figure it out. I go ahead and sit in for her for a whole week. They're like, okay, first wait. So where do we put you? Every show we're throwing you at, you actually you're doing it. So it came down to me now to actually get to see which show I felt would fit better for me. And I got to choose the breakfast show because it's a more mature side, news and basically everything. It's just it has the mature side because I get to be very immature at NTV. I get to be mature somewhere else, so that I try to like balance the both. So I ended up picking breakfast in the city. Which is like from 6 to 10 a.m. People keep wondering how. I'm like,
I know, because I'm imagining you co-presenting with Rita Kanye. Oh my God, because this is a news anchor like we're talking about, and this is an entertainer. But anyway, I'm sure you must be doing it well.
Yes, I'm doing it well. Rita was doing the Saturday show, and I think she's not doing the Saturday show anymore, but she was doing the Saturday show, and she was the serious one. Just turned out I'm also Nange, man. You could be serious. So it was not as a bad combination. I like to think that things have actually worked out. I've grown more as a journalist. Radio is a whole different ballgame. That's something I had to learn. TV you can get away with just like having a slow news day, but radio you cannot get away with it. Remember, it's all about speaking and showing people that you have information to put out there.
Exactly.
TV, there are days when we just like, oh, what to college? You know the thing.
You're beautiful on screen, and that is all.
You can just laugh away and play a music video.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you go with it like that. Like you can get away with it. Radio, you really can't. You have to find a way to make it work, whether you like it or not. So it showed me a different side of the whole journalism thing, and I've liked the whole adventure. I'm liking learning the whole thing. And it feels good. It feels good actually getting to be on radio.
Oh my God, I am still enjoying Lynda Ddane. But you guys, before we can wind up with her, she has this energetic show that she does every single Saturday. That is The Beat. This girl can crazily dance from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. You just heard her saying she doesn't drink anything. Darling, we want to know, where do you
How?
gather all this energy from, and then you put us?
I love music. Like music is literally a trend. It is. There's this thing actually. One of the girls is doing it right now. Naturally, when someone is greeting me, I kind of dance. It's a natural thing. Like even if you just
How you can show us? You can show us. You stand up, Lynda. You stand up. Let me hold your phone. You can. Yeah, you stand up. Yes, you're greeting me now. So you say that when someone is greeting you, you dance for us.
It literally became my form of greeting
Because
it is just
there is
so
a song
weird.
that I've noticed I've noticed about them, her and Anne. Yes, all the time. Banang, they love this song.
So you'd walk through the corridors and someone would just scream "First Cafe Bang," and then the first thing I do is bend. And I'm like, why is this girl always dancing? It doesn't make sense, but I kind of like music. It's a mood setter for me. When the music is this, and I just so happen to, for some reason, know words of songs. I don't even know when I got to know them, but it just happens. So a song will be playing and I'm singing along, just even if I'm walking through the corridors, or if I'm going back home, as long as music is playing. I don't know how it happens. My ear is just always paying attention. So music is just part of me. And then I think when they thought about the whole idea of let's create a dance party, we sat down and are like, oh, dance. And I'm like, yay, music? Yes. Good. let's go along. And I like the whole idea of me getting to enjoy myself and show people that you can still be able to be happy. My whole initial idea when it came to dance party was to get people's mind off the whole situation that we're going through. People didn't understand, but it's quite stressful. We have children or teenagers out there who did not understand a different reality. They're used to life going in a particular way, and now all of a sudden they were stuck in a situation they cannot control, they cannot explain. They're just basically looking for a way to vent or to get out. The perfect distraction is literally just showing them that you can just enjoy yourself wherever it is, and we're trying to make people get to enjoy along with us. And you have to create the aura that is good enough for the people out there to feel like they're also with you in it by making them interact with you on social media. So like for that time, I do not think they're thinking about lockdown. They're just thinking of, what did Lynda do this? That's okay, use me as your scapegoat to be able to distract yourself from this whole lockdown scenario. And I kind of liked being a scapegoat for people when it came to relieving stress. And I'm doing it as I'm also enjoying it. It's also relieving my own stress of the lockdown of, I do not know what is going on in this world of ours. And it felt fun. The only problem is once you start playing music, you have to be able to to understand that I am not going until it stops playing. Like, I'm literally going to be there until the song.
There is a very burning question that I usually see on social media. I see them comparing you with another a TV personality because she also does a weekend show. Yeah, she does a weekend show. Then how does it feel you being compared with another TV personality who is actually good at what she does? Yes. How does it feel, like, from dress code, the energy, this and that?
The dress code thingy, the first dance party I did, it just so happened I could not decide what I wanted to wear. You guys are going to ask me why it happened. The truth is, I actually didn't know what I wanted to wear. That's why I kept changing. I didn't keep changing because that was the...
We thought that was the format of the show.
No, it was not. Even the producers here were like, they're like, okay. And then after 2 seconds, they're like, I don't feel this. I went and changed again.
No, all other TV stations are doing the same. Like, people change from when they've come 2 minutes. They are changing. Like, you change 1,000 times in a night.
So I did that the first dance party, and everyone just started talking about it. So then all of a sudden, when it got to 3 a.m., I pumped it to Anne, and she's like, so you're going to change again? Please go and change again. Like, she was just, like, she had bought into the idea. It was now starting to seem fun. So it just became my thing. The only problem is the next Saturday, unfortunately enough, she also did it. She also changed. So people started comparing. They're like,
you get a minute. Yeah? The first weekend she did not change.
No, she didn't. That's why people were complaining. People were like, Olio Mwana, and then you get it. So then when she changed, that's when it actually seemed like it was a competition. It wasn't. Okay. It was just, I was just doing my own rubbish, and it just so happened my rubbish kind of like got attention. So it became my thing. And then I remember Anne saying like, yo, next weekend you better be ready to, like, I'm like, it's okay, I have the clothes. I haven't been going anywhere anyway. So the clothes are like right there, so I was okay with the whole idea of me changing. The only point is that when she changed, like the internet is meant to do, of course they were going to come back and put it in comparison. So they started doing the whole this one and this one versus this and this, and yet it wasn't like that before. I was just doing my show and hoping that they were just doing their own show. The only problem came when I think she may have taken the whole internet thing personal, and then she put up an Instagram post which everyone had to send to me because I felt like I had to see it. Where she may have said, quote unquote, that you should not compare her to a mediocre who's just starting. The mediocre, just in case you didn't know, was me. so it was like that's when you realize you're like, now when you do that, but I didn't even know that I was trying. I wasn't even trying to do anything. I was basically, I was at the moment where I'm literally enjoying what I was doing. Anyone here who knows how much I love the dance party. Like, I'd be here from morning up to evening, not because I do not have a home, but I want things to go perfect. Like, I help with the people carrying wires. I'll just basically be around and make sure the production goes on. For the love of it. I'm not doing it as competition or anything. The only problem is when people took it as a competition, it kind of became one. And then, never mvumira. I swear. I think when she took it like I was trying to take over like her crown or something, which I wasn't, because I know I am newer than she is in the game. I felt like, come on, like, we just worked so hard to make people understand that we can all thrive in this as ladies. We're women. Each woman has to be given chance to be able to shine. I felt like she was kind of like
putting you down.
Putting me down. I'm like, no, that's not how it should be. And then the thing that made me feel bad was I wasn't even part of it to begin with. Why are you busy? We abuse the people who are doing the comparisons. Why me? Like, you get it. So I'm like, you know what? Okay. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm just hoping to God that she actually doesn't hate me or something. I do not know, because we're not really friends, if I should call it. Like, I've not really met her or something. But I think if she sees me, she'll slap me. But I don't know.
What would you do just in case you met her?
I would try and say hi.
Okay.
Obviously, I'd be
So
scared.
would you want to meet her?
Yes, I would want to meet her.
Okay.
I would want to meet her because I do not know, like, you know, that feeling of I don't really know where I stand or something. I just want to meet her to know, like, how she is.
How do you control the social media negativity? We're about to wind up, guys. I really don't want to let her go, but I'm about to wind up. How do you control the social media negativity?
Selective response. I feel like it's the easiest way to go about it. Selective response.
Okay.
You have to, for starters, acknowledge that it's there. Because whether you like it or not, whether you say it's not there, of course it's going to be there. Acknowledge that you see it. Let people know, you know what? I know not everyone is going to like me. I know you said this. I know you said that. But now I get to choose what gets to bring me down. And if I choose that it's not going to bring me down, you're not going to bring me down. At least not on a couple of things. I keep turning most of the insults into jokes. Okay. Like if someone I think posted a picture of me, which I posted also myself before. You know how you look like when you're going to plait your hair? Go tell them maybe Swahili or something. So I posted that picture because me, I have no problem with it. But someone now puts it back out there in a way to make me feel bad. So I go ahead and repost it, like as a joke. Because me in my head, I'm like, I find this funny. You wanted to bring me down, but it's me. Even if you say what, it's who I am. Okay. So I just try to turn the negative into positive in my own way because it's calming to me. And for starters, they phone me at the worst time when I have learned to like myself. It's the worst thing that you could ever do. Like, if they had done that before, maybe. But they phoned me in a time when I actually was very confident in myself. So, I'm sorry.
How old is Lynda?
Lynda is 24.
Lynda is 24. Lynda is 24 and she is a girl who stands on the beat and shakes her bam bam and makes all men out there salivate like, my God, this girl is so juicy. Is Lynda dating?
Lynda is dating. What do you mean by dating?
Okay. Is Lynda in a relationship?
Wait, I don't know how to answer that question correctly.
Shay, you will know, darling. Is Lynda in a relationship? Lynda, the more relationship.
Yes.
Hey, Nani.
Does that help?
Hey, it's about to help, Nani.
Kansoka munonye mubuze if he's in a relationship with me.
But is he in the industry or out of the industry? Lynda ni amtwale Dubai bagamba musajja tutelinde Dubai.
No. You guys remember there's a trip I was supposed to be having actually in June. It was set with the Lotto Travels. It was set to be a trip where we could go with so many people, but you do not just carry people from their home to Dubai without asking permission. You have to do your own survey of the places you're going to take people. Just like I did before the party bus thing, I went to Ginger before I could be able to take people where it is that I thought I could take them. Okay. The party bus was the first bit. The party bus was basically me showing young people that you can have fun on a low budget. You don't have to have all the money in the world for you to be able to enjoy yourself. People just assume that you have to be 40 and above to start living your life, which is not the case. Okay. You can still be able to have fun even at a young age, because I like to travel and I hope to God that there's so many other people that would want to travel.
I love traveling.
Exactly. So I'm like, let's create one step at a time, a way for people to actually be able to enjoy themselves without having to overstretch when it comes to budget or anything. So I was creating more of like group packages where you get to pay less but get to enjoy all the activities someone else would go ahead to do maybe on their honeymoon or something. So the first one I did was the party bus to Ginger. We did silent disco. Unfortunately, it wasn't just one bus because it turns out people like to party. We ended up having 3 buses and I got 2 extra vans. That was courtesy of Samara Safaris. They got to help me with the vans because I didn't know where to put people. I ended up leaving Kampala at 11 p.m. I remember that day. Yet the first trip was the first taking was supposed to be at 2 p.m. but people came in and obviously there's no way I could go before them. Okay. So I let people go. We went to Ginger. We had silent disco on the buses, and all the way to Ginger. When we got to Ginger, we still had silent disco as well. Got to create accommodation for all the people who came with us, but all in one package. And since that, for some reason, it actually sold out because we found even more people who were already in Ginger. Some people decided to take themselves to Ginger but wanted to join in on the fun. We ran out of headphones. It was dramatic. I'm like, I didn't expect all these people to come here. Why did you tell me you were coming? But it was a good thing to see that people actually appreciated the idea and got to jump into it. So it was a very successful event, if I could call it that. It was a 3-day event because we left and we came back on Sunday. We left on Friday. And when that kicked off, I'm like, you know what? I think people actually do want to be able to have fun. So I already had the whole idea of wanting to travel, but at first I wanted to travel as me. Then I realized, why not help other people also be able to get the chance? So we try to make, we'll create deals, you know those things.
Yeah.
We try to create deals with Lotto Travels. They're the ones who are supposed to be partnering with. I'm still partnering with, because I'm hoping that the trip will be able to happen after the lockdown, to create a trip to Dubai for people of any age. As long as you want to, the package is basically going for 3 million shillings. You can, in that what I was trying to create was deals with people so that these people can be able to come, but they're sorted when it comes to accommodation, movement, and activities. So that is the survey you do before. You don't just go there and you start looking for where you're going to take other people's children. So, for those of you who are wondering what I was doing there, and then at the same time, Wizkid was also going to be performing in Dubai around that exact same weekend that we decided to schedule it with Anne, that I could be able to also get a feature for the beat on that, and as I also do my own survey the next day and be able to come back. So, but naturally, as me, I have fun. I forgot, and I started enjoying myself, and people started seeing it different, yet it was working.
Then she brought us COVID. But anyway, putting that aside, the last question, I think it should be the last one. Oh God, I really want it to be the last one. Are you a video vixen? Because mama, now we are seeing you in songs. Manyamunde, yo, manyaviche. Are you an artist? Can you be a bit confusing? Where do you fall?
Yes, I want to eat your banana.
People are asking about these lyrics, banange. Have you listened to the lyrics?
Yes, I did.
And how do you find these lyrics?
It was quite hilarious. The first time I got to listen to the lyrics, I'm like, hold up. So I pulled Julio aside. Julio was basically the person who got me the audio to get.
Are you dating Julio?
No, I'm not dating
Lee?
Julio. No.
Got to who?
I'm joking. Anyway, they've grown to become like really close friends. Okay. I've known them ever since I started working at NTV. So it's the relationship between me and the B2C boys is like I think a year old or more. And it started out as a joke. I got to meet them when I think they had showed up for someone else's birthday party, and they're really friendly people.
Yeah,
so we started talking, and we became friends. Aside from I work on TV or whatever, just actual friends. They could send voice notes when you're on air, just shouting in your phone, like that kind of friendship. Then they came up with this new project, which I didn't know about, but B2C Soldier #1 Annie Nixon had to know about it. You know the love she has for B2C. She literally made me sign to become a B2C Soldier for life. Which I did. I don't remember when that was, but I did. But it was all in jokes, but they're actually really talented boys. And she gets to find out about this new song that they were doing. She calls me aside and she's like, you need to listen to this. I remember us listening to it in the parking, and I actually decided I liked the song. Just I found it funny. I understood it the way everyone else understands it. Like it just sounded like a very, very silly song. So I'm like, hold up. So Julio had to come. He came all the way to Serena to explain the song to all of us, because they're like, nope, what we had was fist, eat your banana. What are you talking about? And then he went ahead to explain to us the lyrics of the song. It just so happens, and I know they know what we had. I know they meant to do it that way, but they actually meant food. When you get to listen to it more, that's when you understand they were talking about food. But it doesn't sound like it at all. I can't believe it up to now. Banana is my talkie.
Madam, you're not driving me that side. No, you're not driving me that side. So, darling, you and me who have been listening to this song, the lyrics, we're talking about banana. So, banana is banana.
I used to eat your banana. Wait. Simani kabakanzali akasingo kulya my lover. I think it's spices that you prefer most in your food. You used to call me to eat a chekulia chemvazo, which is basically lunchtime food or something. I mean, it's about food. I also do that every time I hear the song. May I sing what I hear? Zengamba fist, not visit. I don't know about you guys.
I wish we would continue with this interview. It's been a very amazing interview. She's a very, 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 very funny girl. I love her for that. But anyway, any last words you would love to tell your fans who love Lynda Ddane?
Fans. You guys, for starters, thank you so much for all the support that you guys have given me. I know for sure there would be no Lynda Ddane without the people who actually support her. And I'm very humbled each and every time anyone is out there and they show me love. It's a very humbling feeling, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. For the people who feel like you'd want to go through this, there's really honestly nothing bad about being in our industry. You just have to grow a thick skin and go in it to win it. Persevere through everything. Ignore all the negative vibes because they're going to be there. We cannot avoid them.
Yeah.
Ignore negative vibes. Choose positivity. Trust God. And everything will just fall in line when it's meant to fall in line. Be patient.
Don't men over disturb you?
Which ones?
The men.
Don't you think I'd be married by now if they're disturbing me?
Hold on. Why are you not married?
Because no one has asked me to marry them.
Someone out there, Lynda Ddane, is searching. So she's no longer in a relationship like she told us before. She's searching. She wants to get married. So if you're out there, you have the qualities of a man.
God-fearing, dark skin. I like dark men. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Now I am seeing color.
The rest is so what you want to say.
I really didn't want to mention that. But anyway, we are so excited. Thank you very much. Those who have been following us from where we started from. She's been Lynda Ddane, and I remain Rapey, the Queen Ma herself. Thank you for following up with Stardom. We love you guys. Keep subscribing, but we have to get out of here. Ciao.